Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today's random chapstick is Candy Cane. My name is Dion. This is the crazy troll nation of YouTube. The crazy, just enjoying what we do, having fun on our channels, and enjoying the channels that we watch. And the troll part is not caring too much about what the beauty community standards are. It's not about a particular brand. It's not about a particular tool. It's not about a particular technique. As much as we hear, you must use this and you must use that and you must do it this way. It is not about that. It's about wearing whatever you want to wear, using whatever you want to use to apply it, and just rocking it. Because here it is about self-acceptance and self-love. Loving yourself for who you are and for how you look, regardless of what anybody else may say. That is the concept of the Crazy Troll Nation. And I do use foul language sometimes on my channel because I do use foul language in real life sometimes. And so what you see here is how I am. And so no promises for this video, but you have been warned. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Base face, Fenty primer and foundation. Brows, the L'Oreal brow pencil. You just saw me apply chapstick. The eye primer was the Fenty eyeshadow primer. Oh, also on my cheeks, I used the Lovecraft Beauty, what is she called? Quasar Goo. So this is what's on my cheeks. It has a little shine, but it's not really a color. This came in a subscription box. I was encouraged to try it, and this is, I think, my third time using it. It doesn't do much, so I'm kind of like, I want to see if Nomad is still good. A while ago, I used some of my Natasha Denona palettes that had expired according to the period after opening date on the back of the packaging. And most of Natasha Denona's eyeshadow palettes are good for, or supposed to be good for, at least 24 months after you open it. Nomad's palettes are usually 12 months after opening. And for me, I find that the formula does change. And my theory is it's whatever oil is in the palette. So we're going to test out 3 of my expired Nomad Cosmetics palettes. And some of you are like, oh my gosh, like she's putting on old makeup on her face, because I have sensitive skin and a lot of things my skin doesn't like. And so trying something that's technically old according to what the packaging says, it's an experiment I should have on my lab coat. So we're going to do 3 different looks with 3 different palettes, and we're going to use Haunted Europe, and this technically should not be good after November 2022. We're also going to use Berlin Underground, same deal. Oh, let me back up. Haunted Europe has bilberry seed oil in it. This has hemp seed oil in it. I will open it up and show it to you when we get to that look. And also America's Parks, excuse me, same deal. Technically expired November 2022. This has jojoba oil in it. So again, that's just my theory on why some of the shadows, particularly the shimmers and metallics, change. The formula changes. And even some of the mattes as well, they go in a little different. And I noticed it the last time I used each of these palettes, but I said, you know what, let's make it official. I should put on my lab coat. Oh gosh. We're going to take Boogeyman, this shade here. This is going to go on our inner corner. It's not feeling as smooth as it used to, but it's still applying really nicely. As long as I don't have issues with itching or burning, I will hold on to it for a while longer. Bloody Mary on the center of the lid. And these are her shimmer shades, these 2 that I used so far, and it does feel different. It doesn't feel as smooth, even though they still go on smooth. But putting my brush in it, there's a difference in how it picks up on the brush. And I made sure to use brushes that I normally use versus, you know, new brushes I'm not familiar with, so that it's not a situation of, oh, will it perform that way because of the brush? So I wanted to eliminate that possibility. Also, swiping the brush in it, it is getting chunky and flaky in the pan. And it used to not do that. Like last summer, it didn't do that. So there is definitely a formula change. And just to go on record, in this video, you can use your palettes as long as you want to. As long as they're performing the way you want to, they're not causing you any irritation. use it as long as you want to. Like, just because I may not doesn't mean that you can't. You know, do what you want to do. It's your makeup, it's your face. If you can tolerate it and it doesn't cause you any issues, still keep using it. We're going back into Boogeyman because I think I lost, well, not lost, but it looked like, yeah, it looked like I lost some of that shine over here. Now we're going to take Mary Cemetery. This one is not wanting to pick up on the brush, and I am really digging the brush in it, and it does seem to be the same texture as Boogeyman, and we did use the same type of brush. This is a clean one, but yeah, this is definitely different. Mary King's Close, Spandau Citadel, that's also going to go in our transition area. Dragsholm Castle, and we're going to create an outer V. We're just going to do some buffing over where we put the outer V shade. Mary King's Close, we're going to put that on our lower lash line. We're going to take Grendel on our lower lash line as well. Dragsholm Castle, the shade we use for our outer V. We're going to put that over here. We're going to take the brush that had our transition shade on it, the second one, not adding any additional shadow. We're just going to buff this out. We're going to take MAC's Fluid Line in Midnight Snack, which is a gray, and we're just going to see what this is going to look like on our upper lash line. We're going to take NYX Retractable Eyeliner in gray. We're going to put this on our lower waterline. Light mascara, top and bottom lashes. Wiping off some chapstick. We're going to take Dark Forest. It is a Sephora brand liquid lipstick. I am seriously digging this lip color. This is our finished look with Haunted Europe. Seeing if it's still good. There is definitely a difference with the satin shades, the shimmer shades, the metallic shades. The mattes still perform the same, but the other ones, there is a difference. I'm not having any eye irritation, and so I am going to hold on to this a little while longer. There is a difference though in the formula, as I keep saying, and so technically this expired 3 months ago, but she still looks good. I thought the green was going to be funky, but I really think it turned out well, and I'm liking how Midnight Snack showed up. It is one of my newer acquisitions to my liner collection, but I think it showed up really nice considering it is a gray. So if you don't want a stark black, I think this will suit you really well. I'm not going to talk too long because we have 2 more palettes to do looks for, and you will see me in a few seconds. Thanks. Hey y'all, today is February 20th. We're going to use the America's Parks palette. I don't know why I started recording before I blended out my eye primer. And yeah, y'all know I could edit it out, but we're not, because we just be doing stuff. So we're just going to keep on rolling. Fenty eye primer. That is not what I was starting to say. Fenty face primer mixed with the Fenty foundation. I did not set it. I put on the Keys Soul Care Flush Sheer Cheek Tint, and this one is Liberation. I think I finally accepted I'm just not a cream blush, cream bronzer type person. It looks really dark, but it's really not. I think it's just the work put into it to get it on, whereas with powders, it's just, you know, I just slap it on. And so I think that's why I'm realizing I'm not a cream person, but I did want to try this again, and the one I used yesterday. I think that was yesterday's video. What else did I do? NYX Retractable Eyeliner and Snatched on my lower lash line. Brows is the L'Oreal Brow Pencil. And chapstick. How did I almost forget chapstick? Pumpkin Pie. Just grabbed it randomly. I really almost forgot chapstick. You know what? Because I just jumped into the video unprepared, as I'm sitting here at my makeup station where everything is, so how would I not be prepared? So, America's Parks palette. Surprisingly, I did not have a paper in here or a sticky in here with looks to still do with this palette. So I was looking at it like, what are we gonna do? So we're gonna do something. We're gonna take Mount Denali, this shade here. I do have, this feels rough. I think it's the texture. If you see this entire middle row, the texture of these shades, they feel coarse. They go on smooth though, so they're not chunky or anything. They just feel like it as I'm picking it up with the brush. And this is pretty. This is so pretty. Okay, let me shut up so I can edit. We're going to flip it over and go into Big Ben, this shade here. Same deal, it feels coarse picking it up with the brush, but they go on very smooth. I'm going to use the top of the brush and do some blending, and we're going to blend in between as well. I'm not sure what shade this is, this one right here, because that's this entire area, but here it looks like a grayish green, but then right here it looks kind of pinkish purplish. Let me know what that looks like to you. It does blend in nicely with the first shade though. South Rim, that's going to go on the outer corner. We're going to sweep a little bit in the outer transition area. Blue Ridge Parkway, that's going to go, ooh, first half transition area. I think I just messed up. When do I not mess up? We're going to take a clean brush and go back into that first lid shade, and we're going to sweep that to cover up some of this Blue Ridge Parkway right here. I keep stuff in like this so when things don't look how you like it, you can maybe figure out how to fix it instead of just scrapping the entire look. We're going to go back to this brush that had Blue Ridge Parkway on it, but we're going to just lightly feather it just to blend it a little bit. And my gut is telling me I should have just taken the clean brush that had no shadow on it. We're going to take Half Dome and we're going to put this over here. We're going to take a brush with no shadow on it, and we're going to go in small circular motions to blend this out. I'm wishing there was a tan shade in here to help me with this. And I normally don't use a shadow to blend out another shadow, but I do acknowledge that sometimes there does need to be, or not a need because makeup is not the need, but I acknowledge that it is nice to have that option every now and then. And I do know some people always use a shade to blend out another shade. I typically don't, but there's times like now where I'm like, yeah, that does serve a purpose if there is a blend out shade. I think the blend is nice. I'm gonna just buff this right here, this area, because it looks harsh, but then it doesn't. This is kind of wacky. You know what? I was looking back over some of my collage pictures, and some looks I'm like, oh, but I'm sure at that time I was like, oh, and then I'm like, and I don't know if my preferences are changing or just my mood for that day or that time. And then sometimes I do post looks I don't really like because it's just makeup, and it's okay. It is really okay. We're going to take Tea and Range, this shade here, and that's going to go in the first half of our lower lash line. Do not even ask me why I thought to put brown and red under here, because the top is, I don't know what colors they are. I don't know about this look. I really don't. And I'm saying that because just looking at it as a whole, like this, the lid just looks muddy. But when I go like this and I see, you know, this is one shade, this right here. And so if that looks muddy, it's because that's just how that shade looks. But then it does blend well with the purple. You know what? I liked it before I did the transition shades, and then it just took a hard left. And I would say that's what happens when I don't plan out a look, but sometimes I do plan out a look and it still just kind of is like, why she do that? So I can't even blame it on that. Now we're going to take Giant Redwoods. I think just being funky, and I thought it would be funky in a good way, just having unexpected colors in unexpected places. I admit today I was struggling looking at what to do with this palette because the shades are really pretty, and I'm gonna tell you exactly what it was. I didn't want to do a monochromatic look. When you look at this palette, this is a look. This column is a look. This column is a look. This quad, that's a look. Even these 6 shades, that's a look. This is a quad. Or you can do this shade and this one, and then put some of the green. Or you can put, use these right here along with this one, and then use the brown. But I didn't want to do a monochromatic look, and so this is what we got. But that was my thought process. Monochromatic looks are very easy to do. They always look nice because all the shades blend in with each other. And I do like how it looks. It's just not my preference. And so I was just insistent today not to do a monochromatic look. So now we just kind of have a muddy mess. I don't know. So that's it for the look. I will say, all of the shadows performed like they did when I first got this palette. And technically this expired 3 months ago. Everything performed exactly the same. The only thing that's kind of tricky with this palette is this middle row. They don't always show up the way they look in the pan. This one, I don't know if that's purple or if it's pink. And so that may be surprising. And because I'm seeing a little bit of pink here, and then you see what looks coppery. And because I don't always do swatches first, I really don't always know like what something's going to look like before I put it on. I'm going to use a brown paint pot. No, I'm not. I dropped my foundation palette, but it landed face up this time instead of face down on my carpet. That has happened quite a few times. We're going to use Dip Down, which is a brown. I had a different shade to use, and I'm like, let me just be sensible because this eye look right here is not sensible. But we're going to post it because that's what we do. It's just makeup. It is okay. We're going to put on a Bite mascara. For the record, I do not like this look. I'm going to find the other looks that I've done with this palette. I'm going to insert those when I do the picture of this look. Just so you can see you can get pretty looks with this palette. Because this one is just a muddy mess. We're going to put Pat McGrath's Gloss Astral Moonflower. We're just going to put this on top of chapstick. I have an overall Nomad playlist. And then I have it also broken down. So if you want to just see the America's Parks looks, you can just click on that and watch those videos. So this is going to be it for this look. Again, I'm not digging it. Is it the worst I've done? No. Is it the best? Hell no. But we did it. We used it. It still performs, as I said, the same as it did when I first got it, which is a good thing. And so I will hold on to this a little longer, and I probably will just do monochromatic looks with this palette. I think that is best. Yeah, so just hang tight and you will see me in a few moments. Thanks. Vanilla Mint chapstick. Today is February 21st. Yes, February 21st. Fenty primer foundation on my face. Also used, again, the Keys Soul Care Sheer Flush cheek tint. And it is buildable, so you can get more color out of it. It just surprises me like how deep it looks in here. But then it's, well, and it does say sheer tint, so it is a sheer tint. So I'm still just trying to decide if I'm gonna keep that or not today. Wait, L'Oreal Brow Pencil, Nomad Berlin Underground. This technically expired 3 months ago, but we're going to use it to see if the formula has changed. We are going to jump right in. Poor But Sexy. That's going to go on the center of our lid. Our lids are primed with the Fenty eyeshadow primer. We're going to turn this brush over and go into Helden. And we're going to top Poor But Sexy. So this is Poor But Sexy. This is Poor But Sexy with Helden on top of it. We're going to take T'Chellis, this shade here. That's going to go on the inner corner and the outer corner. So we're going to finish this on both eyes and come back. And we are feathering over to where the center lid shades are. We're going to take this shade here. I cannot pronounce it. That's going to go on our outer corners. And we're going to lightly sweep it a little bit over into the transition area. We're also going to take this brush without adding any additional shadow on it. And we're going to pull this slightly over top of the outer edge of the yellow. So not quite bridging it. We're going to just leave some yellow right in the middle at the top. We're going to take NYX Retractable Eyeliner in Aqua Green, and we're going to run this along our lower lash line. We're going to take NDW, and that's going to go on our lower lash line. We're going to take this shade here, cannot pronounce it. That's going to go on our tear duct area. So just right here. We're going to take Fenty Fly Liner, and this shade is in Big Truffle. And we're going to run that along our upper lash line. Big Bang Mascara, top and bottom lashes. Dark Forest, we're going to do it again. This is our finished look, and I am happy to say that Berlin Underground performs the same as it did the first time I used it. This palette does have hemp seed oil in it, but it is not affecting the formula at all. And again, this technically expired November 2022, but I am seriously digging it. And yeah, and you know what though, my eyes are burning. So hopefully I didn't speak too soon. I'm gonna use it one more time, not in this video, but just, you know, on my own, just to see if my eyes are burning again. Actually, both of them are burning. I'm digging the lip. I'm digging how lower lash line ties in with this lippy. Did I say I'm digging the lip? Because I am. I meant to say I'm digging the look. I'm loving how the lower lash line is tying into this lippy. This right here, Dark Forest Sephora collection number 29. I am loving it. So, yeah. 2 more things coming up, 2 more palettes to use, brand new ones though. The Surf Shack palettes from Nomad Cosmetics. We're going to use one quad for a look and then the other quad for a look. And I'm doing this because it'll be the same look on both eyes, like this one. I feel like I'm saying that all sorts of backwards because I'm just excited that this looks good, but I'm not excited that both of my eyes are burning. So just hang tight and you'll see the other 2 looks, and make sure you do. Yeah, because there's information down below for you to read, and it is very detailed, and the looks may help you decide if you want to join in with what's going on down below. So yeah, you'll see me in a few seconds. Thanks. Today is February 22nd. We're starting with Holiday Cocoa Chapstick. I lied to you. I didn't mean to. I really had different aspirations, and then I started second guessing my choices about the Nomad Enchantitas Surf Shack Quad and the Malibu Surf Shack Quad, because I was really thinking, like, am I really going to get like a lot of variety from these palettes? And it's only a quad, so it's really not that big of a deal. But I'm thinking, okay, to do a complete look, and I have done complete looks with quads before, but I think I just want to get to the good stuff, like what's down below, and I really want you to see what these look like on me. So we're going to do this look over here, this look over here, and then that will be it for this video. And I am going to put on a blush and a highlighter right now, just the Fenty primer and the foundation and the L'Oreal brow pencil. You saw me do chapstick. My eyes are primed with the Fenty eyeshadow primer as usual. So we are going to jump in. First of all, before we do that, lower lash line on this eye with Enchantitas. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong every time I say it. The blue Surf Shack palette. This is deep blue. That's going to go under here. And Olive No, it's not. Golden Olive is going to go under here. So we're going to do that and come back. I always feel really rushed when I do the multiple looks, multiple palette videos because I know it's going to be long. And I know it's silly for me to feel rushed because it's just all about how I edit. You know what I mean? But it just feels like I have so much to do, which I do. But because I do videos on a regular anyway, it's really silly. It just does not make sense, my thought process. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. So this palette, what are we going to do? And even though this is blue, these look greenish to me, except when I put them next to the Malibu. But it's just kind of strange to me. And so I am questioning my choices. But they were $5. They were $4.99 a piece, and if you purchase them together, it was $8.99. And these are like $17 palettes. And so I'm not regretting my purchase. I'm just like, what am I going to do? And these are all matte. So we're going to take this shade right here, which is Hang, and we're going to just put that here. This shade. We're going to flip this brush over. I'm really just, oh, it's dusty. You see that? Oh. And that's going to go on the other half of the lid. As an update, I did throw away the Berlin Underground palette. I did put a caption near the end of that clip. And I do know that some of you watch while you're, well, listen while you're driving, or you're playing my videos while you're getting ready. And so in case you missed reading it, my eyes were burning horribly. Like, it was really bad. And they were tearing really bad. I left that eyeshadow on 20 minutes, and when I washed it off, my lids were like red and swollen, and my eyeballs were like, girl. And so I threw that away. And I do remember saying that palette had hemp seed oil in it. If you look up hemp seed oil, oils do expire. And so I think that validates my theory that for me, the Nomad shadows do turn because of the different oils or whatever that element is. I don't know about this. I want to do something else, but with these 4 shades, it's like, what else can I do? We're going to take this one. This is Carve, and we're going to go straight in, and this is dusty too. We're going to put this for our transition shade. I'm going to wipe that off and go into this shade. And we're going to tap that here because that pink is looking really dusty, but even this shadow looked dusty too. Take this blue. I kind of want to just put that on the lid because something needs to change and something needs to happen. I love Nomad's formula, and so I guess right now I'm just insistent on making it work. This I like. I do wish, I'm going to go back with this one on the other side. We're going to put more of this here. So this I do like. I would wear this. I like this except how this looks grayish, but I do think it plays into this brown over here. I'm going to lightly tap into that brown, just the tip of the brush, and just do small circular motions because I want more of a blend. And so I hope this is helpful. I know some of you did comment that you had one of these 2 quads, and I do like this because it is like a subtle smoke, even though it's kind of grayish. And normally I don't like the grayish look, but it does tie in nicely with this here. So I'm not disliking it. Is it my favorite Nomad look? No, but it is something I would actually do again, and that says a lot because sometimes I'm just like, we ain't doing that ever again. We're going to take this blue, and that's going to go on our lower lash line. I'm pressing this in because these shadows are powdery, and even though I put the gel liner here, I really don't want it to puff up into my eyes. So that is it for that palette. We're going to move over to Malibu. We're going to go into this one. This I like because it doesn't look grayish. It wants to blend in almost, and I know I've said before, my overall undertone is golden, olivey in some places, and neutral in my cheek area. Like this area right here tends to be neutral. Up here is olivey and down here is olivey, but overall it's golden. So we're going to flip this over and go into this shade right here. This I'm hoping does show up darker. I was going to say that I prime my lids. I did prime my lids because this seemed like it didn't want to go on. I thought it was going to be darker, but because of the tone of it, that might be why it's not. We're going to go in with this right here. And we're going to tap first, and now we're going to blend, and I'm hoping it doesn't look too, ooh, it does look too light. And we're going to take this shade here, as if this one isn't dusty and light enough, right? But we're just going to put this one here. We're going to tap into this one, because we're going to take this shade higher up, and we are tapping off. We're just going to just cover that up. We're going to go back into this one, and we're going to take this shade right here, and we're going to tap into it. And we are going to put that right here. We're taking this one down here, and this is going to go on our lower lash line. We're going to, I didn't set my foundation. We're going to put on, I forgot to put on liner. I'm skipping all around. This is Desert Orchid from Pat McGrath. Can't go wrong with this blush. Cannot go wrong with this blush for my complexion, because it's there, but it's never too much. It's hard to overdo it. You see that it's buildable. That's no blush. This is blush. And I'm like smushing my brush in it. Her other two I have to be careful using them because I can overdo it. But this one, I can just smush it, not even tap off. And it's just the perfect, is it there, is it not there? And it is just gorgeous. And I'm doing this for a reason. And I do realize I didn't show applying blush in most of the other videos, well, the other clips in this. And I'm doing that because we are also going to apply the highlighter. This one, the other one is already set to go somewhere, and we're going to tap that off. This is the one that just like blended into my skin tone, and when I turned, you can see the shine. And then it just effortlessly just blends. And that's because it is a golden undertone to this. So this, I cannot see it right now. I'm trying to peek. But I love this. It is stiff though. So I am having to, you know, dig the brush in it, which I don't like to do. Ooh, this is gorgeous. Y'all, now this side I can't see, and I know it's the angle and the lighting, but y'all, this is definitely it. This is laying low. We're gonna put this over here. I am liking having the contrasting eyeliner. I think it just adds something to the look, and it adds something different because it's not the typical black or brown or gray. And I do think it just adds some visual interest to the look. So I'm really digging it. I have a simple lip pulled out. This is Butter Gloss from NYX, and it's hard to open. This is Lava Cake, and we're going to put it right over chapstick. Important information is coming up. Thank you for being here. And yeah, you'll see me soon. Thanks. Thank you so much for being here, watching me experiment to see if these Nomad palettes were still good 3 months after their expiration date. And yeah, there's some information down below. Make sure you read carefully so that your comment will be eligible. Wink, wink. Yeah, so we're doing this again. The main thing, along with the other rules, you must be subscribed prior to this video being uploaded to be eligible. So I am getting back to that because I want to show appreciation to those of you who are always here and who do really watch my videos, and also read the information in the description box. So that'll be it for this video. I appreciate you for being here. And as always, self-acceptance, self-love, that is the Crazy Troll Nation way. You will see me soon. Thanks.